Good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a fantastic Saturday morning. I know most of you are probably tired. So am I. Don't worry. It's okay. We'll get through this morning. Today, we're just going to do a little bit of discussion. Instead of jumping straight into Mark of the Ninja, we're going to talk a little bit about streaming tech specifically. I'm sure we'll get off onto just tech in general at some point in time. And I want to bring up some of the things with my new focus on Beam. So if you guys have questions specifically about that, you're more than welcome to ask them as well. Anybody who wanted to jump on, I know Ad's already in there. Spike, if you want to as well, you're welcome to. Jump into Discord. We'll chat there about it, and if you want to stay in chat, that's fine. Perfectly acceptable. So how is everybody other than tired? Hope you're all doing pretty good. And apologies for the slightly extended intro for me. I was smart. I didn't get up as early as I should have. I forgot to ensure that the bots were running correctly, because I'm a failfish, and that's what I do. What else would I do? Is BeamLink actually working today? I didn't even look. Yep, usually helps if I go to my channel. Nope, doesn't appear that it's working. Yay, no beam link! It's alright. It will either fix itself or it just will never show up. Actually, I don't think it's even... Yeah, it's not even in my chats. Oh well, it is what it is. No beam link. Yep, no beam link. It's alright. I will try to relay as much information as I possibly can while we discuss. I'm going to try and go for 30 minutes to an hour on whatever our discussion brings up. Past that, we'll just see what it does. Like I said, this is kind of impromptu, not really structured, just whatever we decide happens. So the first thing I'm going to go ahead and bring up is the change of focus for me from Twitch to Beam. So Twitch, I think, is still a very viable platform. There is absolutely nothing wrong with Twitch from my perspective. Yep, let me... Is Ad alive? I'll go ahead and unmute so that you can actually hear me if you want. The thing with me for moving to Beam is there's nothing wrong with me still streaming to Twitch.
No, I'm still dead.
You're dead. No, live, Ad, please live. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with streaming to Twitch. I'm planning, at least for the foreseeable future, to continue streaming to Twitch through Restream. I may change what platform I use for broadcasting to both platforms, but for now it's Restream.io. Seems to be working fairly well outside of their occasional blips. Past that, Beam has a lot of advantages. The reduced delay, and they're working on improving that even more, which is kind of hit and miss for me. I either want it, and it's really nice to have, especially for those interactive streams, but on the flip side, for more of a traditional stream, it's not quite as important to have a 250 millisecond delay. It's still nice.
I was just saying the interactive idea is quite cool as well.
Yes, and I'm going to talk about that here in just a second, because Twitch made a very interesting move after that. Good morning, Kanaki. How you doing? Beam came out full release this week, last week. Last week. I think it was last week. I don't remember. My brain is kind of fried after this week. Beam came out full release, I believe it was last week, and their big thing now that they introduced, and some people kind of knew it was coming, is interactive streams. And the way those interactive streams work is the streamer goes into interactive mode, and then they can set up the buttons, or they can download one that's already set up, a game, so that the viewers can interact directly with the game from the chat. And that's really interesting the way they have it set up. Instead of like Twitch Plays Pokemon, you put it all into chat. Beam actually has buttons. They have an API specifically designed for interacting with the game. Kanaki, we're not playing Mark of the Ninja just yet. We're going to be playing that a little bit later. We're starting out right now with Linty discussions. We're just talking about whatever comes up, mostly focused on streaming and tech, and my change over to Beam as my primary platform.
Yeah, I was trying to write it, but I just forgot to spell discussion. Or discussing.
Discussing.
Just
Yeah.
Stem.
It's all right. It's still early for me. Let's see. For you, it's
3:25.
Yeah, sounds about right.
It is very cool.
I'm enjoying it. I went straight from Dust and Elysian Tale over to Mark of the Ninja, and I'm very much enjoying it. Both Dust is an amazing game, so if you've not played that one, I highly recommend it.
No, it's like I don't recommend it. Just go like now. If you don't have it, just go buy it. Just go buy it now and just play it. It's really good.
Yeah, just don't wait for a sale. Just go buy it. It's an awesome game. Yes.
Like self games.
Fingers work. An Elysian Tale.
That's
the full game title.
I was going to do this. Buy it.
Yes, definitely buy it. It's an amazing game.
Made by nearly one person, apart from the music.
One guy. If you're familiar with Jazz Jackrabbit from the old days, I say old days because I remember that when I was in elementary school. Yeah, elementary school. Man, that makes me feel old. Jazz Jackrabbit was an amazing game, though. I played the crap out of that game. So if you liked that game, you liked the style that game was made in, then definitely get Dust. Kid can't do it. It's alright. It's alright. Contact Probable Prime. He's got a Beam Link alternative that's kinda... Oh, really? I will definitely have to get in touch with Probable then. I knew there were a couple people that were working on alternatives. A local application, so you don't have to rely on cloud. Oh, sweet. So right now he has a cloud version, so that it's all run through servers, and he's just working on getting it set up for local. Hey, Lost Game, how you doing? We're just doing a little discussion this morning. We'll be playing Mark of the Ninja a little bit later.
I'm dying a lot.
Mark of the Ninja?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have been dying a lot. Well, I went from Dust, which is a platformer based around attacking and defeating your enemies, to Mark of the Ninja, where it's better to be a little stealthier.
Yeah, it's a completely different mindset, isn't it? You have to completely
Very
change
alpha testing.
mindset from like, oh, I better go and smack that thing a few times, to, yeah, better not.
Yeah. All right, Spike. I'll make a note of that, Spike. I will definitely reach out to him and see what I can do. Yes, Mark of the Ninja, you do need to be stealthy.
Or if Linty just hit things and hope they fall over.
Yeah, that's kind of what I did. I just kind of brute forced my way through it because I was too lazy to figure out how to be stealthy most of the time.
on my no kill playthrough, I keep doing things and then like a really hard way, and then I go, oh, there was a path for there. I could talk. Fuck.
Yeah. So anyway, back to the whole beam release and everything. So Twitch added a new category, just like they did about 2 months ago, probably. They added a category specifically for creative. They now have a category specifically for interactive streams. I don't think there's any API for it, but there is actually a set of, or a group of channels for interactive. I actually want to bring that up. See if they even have... And I saw something about engineering. Like their engineering.twitch.tv or something. I'm not even sure what that's about. Here we go. Talking about trying Brawlhalla? Yes, I do want to try Brawlhalla at some point.
I tried a bit. It's kind of interesting.
It looks really good. Like I don't know how about the controls and everything. I played a lot of Smash Brothers, and I've been trying to find something at least similar.
The Xbox controllers work really well. I tried it with the Xbox controller. It looks really well. It's really nice. It seems very Smash Brothers. Unfortunately, you only get like half of the roster. And then you have to like buy the the found pack or something. I don't know how much it is right now. I can't remember.
Yep.
And you get one.
Okay, so engineering. I'm actually looking at this now. Engineering.twitch.tv. It is not. No, it's not actually streaming stuff. It's actually like engineering the platform. Well, that was a mistake. Spikesethen!
Hello, Spike.
Test.
Testing?
Yep.
Testing? We hear you. So yes, the interactive thing on Twitch is a very intriguing move to me, at the very least, especially the timing right after Beam goes full release.
Maybe looking a little too much into it. It's literally just Twitch plays.
Oh, I know it is. It's just ironic that that's when they released it.
I consider it more coincidence.
It's fair.
I mean, like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I don't think Twitch... I am fairly certain Twitch probably doesn't even know Beam exists. I mean, hell, XSplit still barely knows Beam exists.
It's true. Most people don't realize Beam exists just yet.
I think it's coincidence.
Yeah, probably more so. Although I've been keeping an eye on some Beam stuff. I don't know how much you guys have been keeping up on it, but Matt has been posting some of their stats, and he was saying right now they're pushing 1 million views per month if they stay at the rate they're going right now, compared to during beta they had 3 million views.
Total?
Total, yes. So they're growing exponentially once they released.
They probably started pushing it harder on their MC Pro hosting.
That's probably true. I didn't even think about that.
That is a... Not sure if you're very much aware of that side of things, but that is actually a multi-million-dollar business.
MC Pro hosting,
It's very successful. So
anytime hosting servers comes up, especially game related, MC Pro hosting comes up almost every time I look at them. But they do primarily Minecraft, right?
I think they don't do anything but Minecraft.
Oh, okay.
MC hosting.
I thought they had branched out.
Is a clue.
Right, well, I know they do Minecraft, but I thought they branched out at some point and started doing some other stuff.
Yeah, just beams and MC hosting, kind of like, because that 8% is on Beam is pro Minecraft. It's changing now, it's expanding more now, but...
Yeah, well...
I think it's getting more towards Minecraft than it is anything else.
It is. If you watch the numbers, the top streamers, like before release, top streamer was usually like 20 to 25 viewers, and it was always a Minecraft viewer. Almost always a Minecraft caster. Now, it's still almost always a Minecraft caster, but you're hitting like 120 viewers.
Very specific channels, by the way.
It is very specific channels, you're alright. But even some of the smaller Minecraft channels, they're hitting 20, 25 fairly regularly for the ones I've been seeing.
This is currently 77 Minecraft, 40 Minecraft, 13 Bioshock Infinite, 13 Final Fantasy 7, 11 Development, and 9 Linty. And then 9 Counter-Strike and 7 Minecraft.
Woohoo! 9 viewers! Oh my goodness. I looked at the fourth one in the list there, and all I see is a hallway. Good grief.
That's probably Bioshock.
Hey, Lost Game, how you doing over on Twitch? Dennis, if you could keep it English only, please. Most of us don't know other languages, so I would greatly appreciate if you keep it English. Is he doing? I don't even know what he's doing. Sorry, I got distracted.
Yeah, I think the top 4, 2 of them are Minecraft.
Yep.
Or 3 of them.
Well, the debate of Beam being good or bad is kind of irrelevant. It's more along the lines of the market that Beam is touching at and where it needs to go in order to grow more. Beam right now being primarily Minecraft, in my opinion, is detrimental. And the reason why I say that is because Minecraft's market is very, very established. And if they're going to rely on Minecraft to grow, they need to compete with super giants, and they're not going to win. So I think they need to start branching further into variety casting, or at least a broader range of games, which means they need to start forcibly pushing different games. Because they have a highlight thing in the front page of Beam, and 98% of the time, it's Minecraft or World of Warcraft.
Right. Well, and that's the thing. Right now, I think it's because of the way they came about. Minecraft was really their big thing at the start. But once they kind of get past that, they started to get a few variety casters, but I can still only think of about 3, maybe 4 that are true variety.
There's about 4 or 5. There's you, me,
Rocket Bear,
and Navi, and Bambi's starting to get to that point.
That's true. I forgot about Bambi because he did a lot of Minecraft for a while. He started.
And Inevitable's a caster on Beam too. That's something I forgot. Yes.
Oh, that's right.
He's also variety.
I forgot he was over here these days.
Yeah, same here.
I need to go find him.
He's going to be rebranding soon, so don't try too hard. He's going to end up changing channels and such.
99% of all the time, LOL is on top games on Twitch. Yes, because LOL is the #1 game on Twitch.
Yeah.
It's
but the
gonna
thing
happen.
Okay, I see what point you're trying to bring up there, but the thing is, Twitch is already established, so they don't need to worry about what games they're marketing. Well,
and the thing is, with Twitch, they've got 3 major games that is their big focus, but they have variety. Yeah. They do have variety already. They've got LOL, CSGO, and Hearthstone. Those are really the 3 big games. most of the time.
Yeah. Most of the time, yeah.
Which the reason why those are the bigger titles is because Twitch is primarily an esports website.
Right.
It's less entertainment and more esports oriented, which is why you see all the pro CSGO casters and the pro StarCraft, pro Dota, pro League of Legends. It's very heavy there, as opposed to things like YouTube, where you would see more just general entertainment elements.
Top 5 right now are Dota, League of Legends, Hearthstone, Counter-Strike Go, and Diablo 3.
Yeah, that's the only reason why Diablo 3 is on there is because Season 5 started yesterday.
Yep.
All right.
You're probably going to see that there for about a week, and then after that, it's going to be gone.
Yeah, when like they do big updates or when events on, normally just whatever game it is, it gets pushed to the top of the list. I mean, when what's it? Awesome Games Done Quick were doing their thing last week.
Whatever they were playing was number one.
Right at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was fun to watch though.
That's just the way of Twitch, though. They're always going to have those set games at the top of their list, and then anything under that is pretty much whatever the bigger casters are playing. And a big difference for me that I'm noticing between Twitch and Beam as far as the casters go is on Beam, most of the casters are focused more on the quality of their content and actually interacting with their chat, where a lot of the bigger casters on Twitch, and this isn't true for everybody, don't get me wrong, this isn't for everybody. On Twitch, they're focused more on the content. I'm playing this game because it's going to get me big viewership.
Yeah, and one of the major reasons why that's the case is because Twitch is an extremely volatile market, and it's extremely competitive, and you see channels die and blow up every day on that platform.
Yes.
So the big push for what gets me numbers, what gets me views, what gets me, partnership, that whole mentality is because that's how it has to be.
Right.
I don't care about that. I'm like, play games.
If you don't need to do that on Beam because Beam is not as volatile. Beam, you can focus on your show. You can focus on what you're doing, what you want to do, what your community is going to be like, who's in your community. So it's much closer simply because it's smaller.
Right. Well, and on Beam, they've even said they don't want this to be a numbers game. They want people to be partnered that actually produce good content and actually have a focus, and they want to see the platform grow. Where on Twitch, it's, hey, we just want you to get big numbers. We're not really worried about anything else. We just want you to have those numbers.
Even then, numbers aren't the whole thing that Twitch looks at, because there's a lot of casters right now that pull pretty massive numbers but don't get partnership, and the reason why is because Twitch doesn't see that person as being marketable.
Right.
So what Twitch is looking at now is how to make more money at this point in time.
But they are a company, so...
Well, I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
I mean, all right, let's get the cat out of the bag really quick. If you want to make this a job, Twitch is the platform for it, and that's like a non-argumentable thing. It's the platform to make it a job. So yeah, for business, that's valid.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with that. Twitch is by far the biggest streaming platform. If you're going to cast, Twitch is where you have to be. Beam may eventually reach a level where you can make it a job, but right now it's not there because you don't have viewership to actually make a living off of it.
Or advertisements aren't really there yet. Which
but they're working on all that.
There.
Right.
Yeah,
Twitch,
I know. Just a thing.
Right. But at the same time, that kind of brings in YouTube. I know a lot of people on Beam now have also done YouTube.
Most of them do Minecraft, so that's a given.
This is true. But one in particular that comes to mind, I've actually been in her channel fairly often more recently, GamerQuest. One of her big things was YouTube for a while, and her YouTube channel is fairly successful. There is a way to still make a living by doing that with Beam, but you have to reach out to other platforms to do it. you're a starting streamer. Yeah, Beam is a great place to start. Most of the casters on Beam, you go to their channel, you ask them questions, they're willing to help you. They actually want to help you get started if you want to.
I just want to clarify this because it might sound like I'm coming across as like a hater, and I don't want to come across that way. I'm just being a realist. I prefer Beam. I prefer Beam over Twitch personally because for me, my whole intent is to provide the best content that I can, and that's not viable on Twitch. Whereas Beam offers a lot of the ability to do that. So I prefer Beam. I just want to get that out there.
Well, I have a feeling there's going to be kind of a split for a lot of smaller casters on Twitch to come over to Beam once they realize what the platform's all about.
I've actually been considering it.
Yeah. Like you said, Twitch is primarily focused on, I want to make a living out of this, for the most part. And it is very competitive. But on Beam, it's not as competitive, so you can just go over there. You can focus on your quality of content. And you're still going to be able to pull in some viewership. Can you join? Oh, yeah.
Where's the... Oh, he's already on it. You've already done it.
Yep, I got you. I'm on it. I'm alive. I'm awake. Sort of.
I'll be able to see both now. I know we keep Twitch and Beams open.
Oh, by the way, Linty, I don't know if you heard this yet, but KarashiBot is in the works.
Yes.
So
I'm excited for that.
Hopefully, local sound effects will be a thing soon.
Awesome.
Oh, is that Beam Anchbot basement kind of thing?
That's what KarashiBot will end up being.
Yeah. And Spike, we know you don't hate Twitch. You just hate everything equally. You just hate everything.
You don't know me enough to say that I hate anything.
You don't know me.
No.
No, that's like, I'm serious.
No.
You like haven't been by for like a month.
It was
like,
mainly because I've been streaming when you stream, or I'm just been like, nah, I don't care. I just don't want to. I'm playing games.
It's because I'm playing Fallout.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a shot at this, so don't hate me if I'm wrong, Spike. It's not that you hate things, it's that you're a realist and you look at things and you say, I'm looking at the big picture on this thing. You guys are stupid for not looking at the big picture.
That's what I meant.
I don't normally call people stupid unless they prove that they're stupid.
Well, right.
But yeah, for the most part, that's how I see things. I look at a broader picture rather than the little parts.
Speaking of which,
yeah, that's valid enough.
For those of you that aren't aware, we've got Spikesethen. It's on Twitch and on Beam. Yeah, we just call him Spike. Awesome guy. Variety caster on Twitch and Beam. Go give him a follow.
No.
Or just don't follow him. It's up to you.
I don't
check his channel out.
Yeah. So
if you want Minecraft, he's not the right person to follow.
Yeah.
And the other person you hear is Ad13UK.
I play games just.
He plays stuff occasionally.
Arrogantly, I would consider myself the most hardcore caster on Beam.
I would probably agree with that, actually. As far as casters on Beam, I honestly cannot think of anybody who puts as much time and effort into their content.
Well, no, I don't mean my content. I mean, I just play very difficult games.
Well,
and I try everything to make them harder.
That too.
including intentional handicapping. I'm a giant min-maxing nerd.
That's alright. I am starting to get into more of that. Not as much as you are, but I am starting to. Dust Blind Hardcore, 117% completion.
What do you think of the mushroom tunnel?
The Mushroom Tunnel.
Mushroom tunnel.
Yeah. Did you complete it yet?
Yeah, I finished
Yeah,
it.
I
You
just
completed it. Okay.
Mushroom
So
tunnel.
there's this tunnel that you go down that's lined with mushrooms that are motion activated and they spew things.
Oh, that one. Oh, that was
No.
terrible.
Oh,
I hated
God.
that.
You want to know why that's terrible? It's a flaw by design. There's no way to move slowly in dust. So the activation is constant regardless if you move.
Yep.
And because of the hardest difficulty, every single hit causes a knockback.
Yep.
Non-negotiable.
And what happens then
so
is that you knock back and then knock back.
Yeah, you can. Oh yeah, you can get cycled from the end of it to the very beginning of it just from knockback.
I've had that happen. I know that feeling. Oh, it's horrible.
I eventually figured out a way that I could get just to the other side of one, and if it would hit me, it would actually knock me forward instead of backward.
Things depend which way you look in. Directional.
It-
If you look in.
No,
Sometime
it's which side.
Oh, is it?
It's which side of the thing you're on.
Which side you get hit,
Oh, yeah.
and it'll either push you back or push you forward. But you should go to my YouTube channel at some point in time, Linty, and check out my playthrough of Dust to like 2.5 years ago. Holy fuck, I was so angry during that tunnel.
Oh, God.
I was so angry.
I was getting there. There were a couple points I was getting there. Oh, but overall, that game is fantastic. I'm
Made
actually
by one
surprised.
person.
Yeah, one person. He did a phenomenal job on every part of it, and the ending.
Technically, 2 people actually.
It was
now that I think about
technically
it.
the music.
Yeah, the music
Well,
was a different person.
Right.
but
Well,
the story
gameplay.
and all that other animation, art,
Mhm.
code was all one person.
And that ending, though,
Yeah.
man, if you're not ready for that,
I'm
that'll
waiting
just
for
hit
Dust
you.
sequel.
I know.
Give me the Dust
Yeah.
sequel. Give it to me.
Maybe just 2.
Put it inside me now.
Just
Come on,
to
Dean Dodrell, give it to me.
give it to
Give it
us
to me
now. Okay, so yes. Okay, there's a bot coming from Karashi. I'm actually testing out with ScottyBot right now. Seems to
Tell me
work
about
a little better than BeatBot did.
Yeah.
I can actually use my emoticons.
On Beam?
Yes. Because in BeatBot, if you put in special characters, it won't translate correctly to Beam Chat. So
Linty.
it's something with the way it's set up, because if you put special characters into the web interface with BeatBot, it translates it differently. And it puts in some kind of garbage into Beam Chat.
Oh. I think we mean like Exhibition Linty, where like it breaks.
Oh, that's actually the only one that's broken with ScottyBot. All of the others work correctly. All right, Lost, have fun.
Either. I'm trying to wonder what's causing it.
Oh, there's a special character.
No.
Yeah.
I did the character that would be there.
That character's there.
The character, no, it's not actually there. I just like did the extra characters. Wonder if it just doesn't come up. I don't know.
Navi, how you doing, sir? I don't know. I'll play with it eventually. I can probably fix it.
I know I'm saying hi and then rising. I'm just doing that of habit.
You're so used to not being
just in
heard.
case. Yeah.
Still waking up? Yes. I'm still waking up too. It's okay.
I've not. I've been out already.
It's only 10:52 and I'm still waking up.
Wake me up. That's
All right. So yes, that's kind of the whole deal with Beam. It is going to be my primary platform moving forward. There's obviously still some things that need to be worked out, but for the most part, everything that I want to see out of bots is there, minus the sound effects and a death counter. Yeah, death counter I think is the only other thing. Beam's focus equals Minecraft. To a point. We talked about that a little bit. To a point, the focus is Minecraft.
No.
In order for them to be a bigger platform, they're gonna have to branch out. And that.
I think you meant. Sorry.
Hmm?
Sorry, I'm interrupted. Sorry.
And that's actually something that I know Rocket Bear is trying to push for more variety a little bit. He's not extremely vocal about it, but if you watch his cast enough, you'll notice it. Yeah, Navi, I know you're working with more variety as well.
I thought Nick's meant like your.
My focus?
Doing more Minecraft.
No.
I thought you meant.
No, my focus is anything but Minecraft, pretty much. I haven't played Minecraft in probably a year and a half.
I continue to dive into it, and so I'm going to build something, and I go, I can't bothered. I just go,
No, there are Minecraft partners, but there are a good number that do other things. Their focus may still be Minecraft, but they are starting to branch out. That's a whole nother discussion. We won't get into that one today.
Hang on, but just 2 seconds.
Not yet.
Oh.
I'll give you your 2 seconds though, but not yet. Not yet. Okay. We'll get there. So at least moving forward, I know Spike, you still plan on casting to both long term, right? Oh, BRB. Never mind. He's not here. At least my plan for the future is I'm going to continue casting to both platforms. But if FTL becomes everything they say it's going to be, I may end up dropping Twitch. Just a heads up. I may end up dropping Twitch so that I can take advantage of that. Because if it works the way that they want it to, it will allow me to produce higher quality content with higher resolution, lower bandwidth requirements, all kinds of other of other stuff added to it. I won't get into the technical part of it. I enjoy looking into the technical part of those things because I'm a techie and I'm a little bit nerdy like that, but it's okay. It's far from Minecraft. Play it once a week if you're feeling it. Prefer playing other games. Yeah, and that's kind of where I think a lot of people are, Navi. They might play it once a week, and it's kind of a if they're feeling it type deal. I can't remember if Bam is still doing it once a week, or if he kind of stopped doing that as well. I don't know. I've been kind of out of the loop on some things lately, unfortunately. From being released to the general public, keep you posted on how well it's coming. Bam stopped altogether? Okay, yeah, I thought he did. I kind of figured he moved more towards straight variety. Should get Burrow so you can test FTL. Yeah, and I kind of figured FTL was probably going to be a little ways out. And that's why, at least for the time being, the plan is just keep casting to both. If I can get more viewers on Twitch and kind of move them over to Beam, since that is going to be my primary focus now, that'd be excellent. But if not, that's fine. At least there will still be an option for people to watch on Twitch if they prefer it. Or for some reason Beam's having issues, that's still open.
Yeah.
But there is no hard switch happening yet.
Yeah, I've been looking at FTLs. I've been hearing about the FTL on Beam.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of got me interested. Like, because I've played a bit of FTL on stream. I'm just being terrified at it. So,
yeah.
People shouting at me faster is more. People shouting at me earlier is like, I can imagine it being more fun.
Right. Well, the thing is, FTL is an entirely new protocol. It's never been used. Beam is developing this from the ground up. So they're going to have to go through a lot of testing, and I'm glad that most of the partners are very interested in this. They want to test this as much as possible. I know there are a few issues with FTL currently, mostly XSplit. Pretty much in order to use FTL right now, you have to use OBS, because OBS is open platform. So they can go in, they can modify things as they need to. If you need to go in and change something with it, you can do it freely. No issues with that. But with XSplit, the only way you'd be able to use FTL is if somehow you do all of your scenes with XSplit and then capture XSplit output with OBS to send it to the platform, which that's probably going to be a pain. I'm sure it can be done. I know BAM's been working on it. I think End Commander was working on it. Different ways to do it. Crashes every time you launch. That's a shame. Waste of $0. Yeah, and I know some people will have different opinions about this, but as far as the way I look at XSplit and Beam, or XSplit and Beam, XSplit and OBS. See, I'm still waking up, still working on it. XSplit is a great platform, but it's closed, so new things like that you're not going to be able to test out, and there's only so much you can do with it in that regard. But it's, as far as I know, I've never actually used it. I know people that do. It's stable. There haven't been any major issues with it. Unless you have the issue like Nihilix, it just won't open. Which I don't know what to tell you on that. Uninstall, reinstall. About all I could think of. But OBS, I've had one issue with multi-platform. Now I know they're still working on adding some features. I'm really looking forward to the 0.13 release, because they're supposed to be adding some additional features that I've been looking for specifically.
Yeah, I've only had like one problem once. I wouldn't capture for some reason, but I just updated it. It was like, fine, it'll just work. So I fixed it. So minor issue.
Well, I guess I've had two issues. One of them is just kind of a derp thing that I don't know if there's gonna be a way to work around it or not. The one actual issue that I've had is the hotkeys crashing OBS.
Right.
But that's actually been fixed as far as I can tell. I've been using hotkeys now since they released 0.12.2. 0.12.1. 0.12.1 is when they fixed it.
How do you actually get the like, you know, you can do stuff in, like, you can do stuff with your scenes without switching to them. How do you do that? I have no idea.
I don't think you can.
Oh wait, do you put all like your stuff in one scene, in like one group, and then just move around?
Scenes in one group?
I don't know. I'll ask you about it later, because I'm just trying to figure out how you do it. Like, you can change things in your, like, you can load up a game and just do settings without changing from your webcam.
Not 100% sure I follow. Like, you want to just change something in your camera?
No, when I'm doing something, when I'm doing my setup, like when I'm doing got my text up saying setup, stream, whatever I'll say, then like when I'm trying to edit things with on the scene, with say I'm playing, I don't know, Mark and Ninja. If I want to change something in the scene for Mark and Ninja, when I try to edit it, it just switches to it. I have to switch to it, and it will change over to, instead of being on the screen where it says setting up, it'll be switched to Mark the Ninja. You have no clue, do you?
No, I'm kind of lost here. So, like, all right, like when I'm on my start screen,
Yeah.
and I want to change what the capture for the game, but I don't have my game capture on that scene. That's a different scene.
Yeah.
how do I change the game capture?
Yeah, I'm trying to explain
Is
it.
that what you're trying to get at?
I don't know. I'm going to try something. I think I know what it is. I'm just going to try and I think I've got an idea how it is. I don't know. I'm going to try. I'll do something. I'll
All right.
figure it out.
Well,
I'll talk to you later about it. 'Cause I'm
yeah,
just trying to figure it out. I'm all over the place.
yeah. Because if I remember correctly, XSplit, there's a way you can change sources, settings on sources, without changing to the scene, and you can actually preview other scenes before you switch to them.
Yeah.
I think. But in OBS, you can't do that, at least not currently. So if you want to change settings on a specific source that's on a different scene, you'd have to actually add that source to the scene you're on in order to do it.
That's what I thought I was going to have to do.
Yeah. I don't mess with it. That's why beforehand I always try to go in, make sure my game capture is set up correctly, and then I'll close the game, and then once I start my stream, then I'll open it back up and
Yeah, I know you
move
do that.
forward. It's kind of a hassle, but it works. It's just the way it is designed. I do think in the future they're working on adding something similar to what XSplit's got so that you can preview other scenes and make necessary changes if you want to. But I think that's in progress.
Yeah, that'd be nice. So you can't do what I said, except for putting them all in the same place. I'll play with it later. I need to play with that sound thing, the player.
Yeah, Spike, I'm with you on that. OBS definitely has its place, but you're probably not gonna see it for professional use. XSplit is by far the more polished product. They've got a lot of additional features in there that you're not going to find in OBS. But OBS is still kind of a work in progress. To me, it's technically still a beta, even the multi-platform product, because they're still working on adding so many things to it. It's to a functional state. And that's pretty much where it's going to stay until they get some of this additional stuff added. Found more to do with OBS. People actually make more plugins with them. Yes, OBS, especially with multi-platform being out for a little while now, they're starting to add additional plugins for it. So you're going to be able to get some of those features. But it's just going to take time for everything to work itself out. So yeah, StarCraft 1 to hook to OBS. It's old enough. The full screen actually loses all data that it exists altogether, so OBS can't even find it. Really? That's really weird. Because most older games, you're still going to have an executable, so you can just go in there and grab the executable for a game capture. That's a very unusual issue, Nilix. With That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. DirectX version would make a difference. Custom launcher and force the game start in windowed mode. Ah, gotcha. Follows. Alright, so tech stuff. I know you wanted to talk about Windows 10.
When is it? 2 seconds.
2 seconds.
Pardon my French. Fuck Windows 10.
Alright, there's your 2 seconds. I actually happen to disagree with you. I work with Windows 10 on a fairly regular basis. For work.
It's just their tech support is terrible.
In regards, well, you're talking about Microsoft. That tech support at Microsoft is terrible. So that just doesn't even count.
Yes.
Them too. I personally have not upgraded to Windows 10 on my casting PC yet. I don't plan on doing it yet because I know there's some issues. No sound from
Mike, I think you're still muted. I think you still mute yourself.
No, he's... Hello?
Spike?
Are we back?
Hello?
Hello?
Okay, so that's my problem with Discord. If I mute myself, I have to literally leave the call to join it again in order to talk.
That's weird.
See, I don't know what's up with that, because I've never had that issue.
Neither have I.
It's a very unusual issue. Are you on the web or the client?
I'm on the web.
I wonder if that's a web-specific issue.
It might be because I'm using the client as well.
I don't know.
Discord, work in
Bit
progress.
Yeah, the solution to my problem was herder install more RAM. And that was it. That's like,
well,
no
that's
problem for Windows 7.
generally, if you contact Microsoft support, their solutions for you are going to be kind of derp.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
I don't think Discord has the right to pull the still a work in progress thing.
Oh no,
As far as I'm aware, it's not a beta at all.
No, they're officially released. They have been for a while. I'm just saying they should have stayed in beta a little longer to fix some of those type of issues.
Actually, back in a moment.
And on the topic of Windows 10, I just want to get my 2 cents in really quick. DX12 is not as good as I'd like. Therefore, I'm staying on Windows 7.
That's a good reason.
Oh, we got somebody else who wants to join us here. Do I hear a Navi?
Look at this vagina.
You do.
Oh, hello, sir.
Hello.
Navi has personal experience with Windows 10.
I do, and
Oh.
it's a piece of shit.
Yeah, as far as gaming goes, I would have to agree, and that's part of the reason that I've stayed on 7. I was hoping DX12 would actually be really good, but from what I'm hearing, it's not.
Look, the only reason why I was willing to suffer through Windows 10 was the promises of Killer Instinct coming to PC. So far, we haven't been delivered it. And so far, the platform as a whole for gaming in general sucks ass. It's fucking horrible. You try to load up any game and it takes forever to fucking load it, even with an SSD. If you have an SSD installed for any game whatsoever, it takes forever to load it. The games don't look as good as they do on previous iterations of Windows, like Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 8.1, whatever you're using, because they've been optimized for those platforms,
Right.
for those operating systems. Windows 10 just isn't ready. It isn't.
Well, and 10, I haven't dug into it a whole lot, but from what I've seen of it with especially business applications, because that's mostly what I work with on Windows 10 right now, it tries to essentially emulate any previous version instead of, I'm going to run this application on Windows 10, and if I have an issue with it, then I'm going to try and fix it, like 7 did.
Mm-hmm.
And it's caused so many more issues. There's performance issues with it, there's compatibility issues with it, it's just a mess. But as far as gaming goes, it's gonna be a while till they get that figured out.
It's already too late for them to try to get it figured out because they're in a full release. There are a lot of people being stuck with this OS. They can't get off of it.
Yep.
Or they just don't have the money in order to switch. And Microsoft, in classic Microsoft fashion, they wait until the last minute to be like, oh, there's a problem, let's fix that. You know, either that or they sit there and drag their feet in order to roll out fixes. And when they do roll out fixes, it's broken.
Sometimes they work.
It's rushed.
Classic Microsoft for you. And their thing with Windows 10, they started this on Windows 8, is the way they're going to monetize things now is through advertisement. And that's one of the biggest issues I have with Windows 10. Now, there's ways to get away from that and stop the advertisement stuff with Windows 10, but you can still only do so much actually within Windows to stop it. You have to go outside of that, with firewalls, with ad blocking, whatever else you need to add to it, but you've got to go outside of Windows to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's become a nightmare for people who are actually concerned about it.
And you can, if I say something incorrectly, please let me know. I'm still waking up.
Understood.
This is exactly why a lot of people are opting for Linux over Microsoft. Because in most iterations, it is open source. But unfortunately, not very many game developers are developing on the Linux platform because Windows is so widely available.
Well, there's two issues with moving to Linux. I myself love Linux. I've used Linux for years, and if I could move to Linux for casting, I would do it in a heartbeat because I love Linux. It is mostly open source. There are a few things here and there where they're going to say, no, sorry, we're not open source. You can't do squat. But those are mostly business end applications more so than they are stuff the end user is going to use. Like even for casting, I don't think there's anything that I would use that would be closed source.
The only thing that you would be able to use on Linux at this moment in time is OBS. XSplit doesn't support Linux users.
Right. Well, I'm thinking outside of that for like music and bots and whatnot, that kind of stuff.
Well, Linux also has some pretty major problems with it when it comes to elements like broadcasting and coding, etc. And that's that. Unfortunately, the tech behind Linux is pretty far behind everything else.
It is.
That is true. That is very true.
Well, and the way Linux was designed, it's the kernel, the very core of the platform is modular. But that also poses problems for things like drivers. And that's why NVIDIA and AMD have so much trouble getting drivers to work correctly on most Linux platforms.
Not that, users will blame Linux for that.
Oh, no, of course not. They're going to blame NVIDIA and AMD. But that's a general misconception of where the issue is coming from.
Yeah.
If they were able to get Linux to a point where it's not designed that way, which would take a ton of work, they may have fewer issues. But I don't think it's going to happen. They're probably going to end up continuing to develop it modular like that. Which, being modular actually brings in other advantages. You're able to do updates if you want to without rebooting the system, as long as you don't update the C++ library or the kernel.
Don't change that C++.
Oh man, that C++. Touch that and you're toast. Oh man. Now I'm toast. I don't have any coffee.
Oh no.
No!
That's a bad thing.
But its major benefits are still that it's extremely lightweight in terms of everything else. You have a lot of customizability for many more things than you do with other OSs. And above all that, if everything gets cleaned up, there's really no reason not to use it.
Right.
It's just a matter of everything being behind everything else.
Right. And like we said, their biggest issue with casting is going to be your drivers, really. And there's not going to be a really good way to get around it.
How does Linux work in terms of Flash?
Avoid it at all costs. It functions.
Well, yeah, that's going to be a problem because most encoders and players are Flash.
Well, here's the thing. It functions, and it functions correctly, but Linux does not like Flash. And it is open source issue more so than anything.
I mean, to be fair, Flash is awful. But...
Flash is awful, and that's why most Linux most Linux repositories for software will include it, and it will function, but they're going to fuss at you. How dare you install something that's not open source? And sometimes you have to go through loopholes just to get it.
Fucking hipsters. Sorry. Man. Tech. So much fun, but Jesus Christ, it can get annoying.
Oh, 100% agree with that. There are some days I wish I didn't work in IT, and there are other days where I love it.
And usually those days involve not working with the elderly.
Or just not working with end users in general.
I don't know. I have fun with most.
There are definitely some. Where I am with my IT career is I prefer working on higher end corporate stuff like servers and networking. And for that, you really need to be more in the background. You need to have interface with the end users, but it's limited. That's kind of a personality thing for me too. You may not gather this, but outside of casting, I'm actually very quiet and don't talk to people very much. Casting is kind of my outlet.
This is something that you may not have picked up on yet, but being a person that's been doing this for 3 years, that's normal.
Yep.
Yeah. I have actually picked up on it. A lot of people...
It's an entertainment industry thing. I mean, it's one of the many oxymorons of life. People that are quiet or have depression issues are generally also the people that are very outspoken and funny. You know, the comedians or many actors will do massive films and be in the eyes of the paparazzi all the time, but then they're like, I don't want to talk to anyone. I just want to be in my own personal bubble. It's normal. Surprisingly normal how polar opposite your career gets from your personality in the entertainment field.
Yeah, and if you talk to Mrs. Linty about me and how I am off-cast, I'd actually be kind of scared what she would say, honestly. It's probably bad, but I am kind of scared what she would say. But off-cast, like even if I'm working on cast-related stuff, I am laser focused on that task. I am going to figure out how to get that to work. If I have to pull out scripting, programming, whatever I have to do to figure it out, I'm going to do it. That's just the way it works. And that goes for things outside of casting too. If I come into something and I'm working on something, or if we're having a conversation, Mrs. Linty and I are having a conversation, I'm focused on that conversation. Casting becomes difficult for me because I have to multitask. To a point.
There is quite a bit that you do have to quote unquote focus on while you're streaming, because there's multiple elements that you need to be aware of, but it's not quite to the level of multitask.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't know, maybe I'm just doing everything all wrong.
Well, how many bots do you have?
One each. One for me. Oh, man. I worded that so wrong when I told you that.
Gavy.
Oh, not this. No. The other night I was watching Spike, Pit, and Karashi play Grim Dawn, and I was working on some bot stuff for Beam. And I told them, "Hey, I just set up another bot for Beam," and that's exactly how I said it. And that's not what I meant. I meant I'm doing away with my old bot, and I'm using a new bot, and I just finished setting everything up in the new bot.
Yeah. I
But
know
yes.
some people that will. It's actually fun fact. One of the reasons why Twitch did a permanent separation of IRC logged viewers and people that are actually watching the player, and that's because there were people that would inflate their numbers with bots. Bots and chatty and all that other stuff, and those only connect to IRC.
Right. Well, and that's where right now you've got the stupid thing going around with StreamBot.
Yay!
Yay! I'm glad it hasn't come to Beam yet. Stay away, please. But yeah, I can see where that can definitely cause a big issue, even if it's legitimate bots that you're using in your channel. But like you said the other night, if you have more than 2 bots, you're doing it wrong. You're probably doing it all wrong. For the most part, you should only need 1.
No. I think for the most part you need 2, unless you're on Twitch and you have OnkBot.
Right. Well, yeah, it's true. I guess technically I am using 2 each, but one of them is StreamJar.
I don't like StreamJar.
I have to use like 2 or 3. And I know this sounds incredibly weird, and it's going to sound really weird, but you know, being a partner, certain bots don't do certain things.
Right.
So one takes care of my commands, the other one takes care of donations should they happen, and the other one takes care of follow subscriber.
Oh.
Can't you get one bot to do follow, donation, and subscriber?
That would be StreamJar, and right now it's incredibly buggy.
It's true.
I don't know why you would use StreamJar. What is the point of StreamJar?
StreamJar is
donations, essentially.
You realize you can still use Twitch alerts.
Yeah.
Like, it's just going through a donation. It's just not going to put it in chat. But the notification will come up.
Well, my thing, I'm using... Go ahead.
That's just not a bot. That's all I was going to say.
Right. Well, technically it's not a bot.
It also offers an overlay, like a live scroll overlay through StreamJar.
I mean, you can get a similar thing for Twitch alerts. I mean, are we talking?
Granted, yes. I mean, it's just something that I like how it looks through StreamJar. I haven't really saw too
Does StreamJar take a cut?
No.
No.
No, StreamJar doesn't take a cut. The thing with StreamJar, at least for me, is it's multi-platform. I can use OnkBot for follow alerts on Twitch. I can use ScottyBot now for follow alerts on Beam, but I won't get the on-screen alert. If I use Twitch alerts, I'll get on-screen alerts for Twitch, but I won't for Beam. So if I move everything to StreamJar, I can use StreamJar for the alerts on screen for both Twitch and Beam. And then I can use, they have a bot function that will put that in chat as well, and then I just removed it from OnkBot and ScottyBot.
So it's for the follower notifications more than anything else?
Yes.
Oh.
At least
never
in
liked those,
my
so,
case.
yeah.
I've considered getting rid of them and just putting it in chat. And in that case, I would be able to use pretty much anything for donations.
Mhm.
But I don't know. It's a preference thing more than anything. Obviously, the overlay part of it, I'm still debating if I want to keep it or not. I may still get rid of it.
To me, whenever I see channels with it, it just looks like statistics, and it's like, I don't like looking at statistics.
Right. Well, and that's part of the reason that I'm considering just dropping it altogether. Just don't even use it.
But therein lies the point of different people have different reasonings behind different things.
Right.
Like, certain people may not want to look at the statistics, so they won't have something like that. Other people are kind of curious about, who's following, who's coming into the channel, stuff like that. Cool. Other people that are of, more business related within their streaming, i.e. partners or, actual people that work under the live streaming front, need to see those logistics in order to see how well they're doing for a particular day. So again, different reasons for different things about what we're doing.
Well, and even from a viewer standpoint, part of my reason for continuing to use the banner at the top is some viewers like to see that, hey, I followed, so I got a notification on screen that I followed, and my name's now at the top.
Oh, yes. Okay, so, yes. That works. I know that works.
Yeah.
That's the same why donation trains exist.
Right.
Because people will be like, I'm gonna donate $1, so my name's on the screen. I'm internet famous. Woo!
Exactly.
It works. Yeah, I know that works, and that's one of the reasons why I, for 3 years, didn't add a donation alert on Cast. Because I don't want people to donate because their name's on the screen.
Right. Well, and that brings up another point, and that's something that I've already decided that if this happens, I'm just gonna drop it. If I end up having issues with people just doing that, and this may work for some casters where they're okay with stuff like that happening, with donation trains and follow trains. Well, follow trains is not really an issue.
Yeah,
that's a good thing.
Not...
Don't get me wrong, follow trains are good. If you're following, awesome. Good on you. Donation trains become more of a distraction to the cast than anything. And they tend to pull the focus away from the content and put the focus more on the people donating. It's where is the focus of the cast when that happens? At least that's how I look at it.
Honestly, the only way I see it is I want people to donate because they think I deserve it, not because of fancy colors.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, that's exactly how it should be. If they want to donate, it should be because of the caster, not because their name's on the screen. Is that going to happen all the time? Probably not. Some people may even throw a donation of $1 just because they want to see if their name will show up on screen. And if it doesn't, they won't donate again. I've seen that happen. They won't donate again. Yeah. Donations are a tricky thing, and I feel like it's caster specific. The caster really needs to make a determination of how they're going to handle them.
And even that is tricky because most people, especially right when they're starting, I've seen this a lot, they automatically go like, oh, I'm streaming now. I could possibly make money off of this. Let me throw up a donation link. And So much so, it's not the case, and this is a major misconception of a lot of live streamers thinking that they can just jump in and automatically make it overnight.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that. You have to sit there and work at it. You have to sit there and invest time at it. You have to build up a community. You have to make your show what you want it to be. If it's evolving or it's static, we don't know. That's up for you to decide. And then you have to work it every single day that you go live in order to make sure that the people that are coming to your channel, what you've built, are entertained enough to stay.
Or you just talk to a lot of very big partnered casters and get a lot of attention and then get partnered in a month.
Yeah, I've seen that happen too.
And it doesn't necessarily work like that on Beam.
No.
It
Well,
doesn't.
it's not going to work like that because the only the partnered casters are still on the same level of everyone else.
Right.
I mean, I pull the same numbers as Navi.
Yeah. And
It's
honestly, I get more satisfaction over helping other streamers than I do for my own personal gain.
And I think that right there is a fundamental difference between Twitch and Beam. Beam has kind of formed this little community where everybody wants to help each other. They want to see growth. It's not true for everybody on Beam. And on the same side, it's not true that everybody on Twitch doesn't want to help other casters. But that seems to be kind of a fundamental difference between the platforms. And as far as people starting casting, this might be true for all of you guys. I actually didn't watch you guys when you started casting, but at least when I started casting, it was, hey, look, I can throw my whatever I'm playing onto the internet so that other people can watch me if they want to. I'm going to do this. I just sat down and played games. I didn't even care about chat. It was just, oh, look, somebody's in channel. Hi, how you doing? And then it was, if they stuck around and watched, okay. That's just how it worked. And then after I got into it a little bit more, I kind of figured out, hey, I could actually make friends by doing this. I found Navi, Spike, Ad, all of you guys through streaming. Had I not been streaming, I probably wouldn't have found you guys.
Yeah. And that's one of the beauties about live streaming, but at the same time it's also a curse. Because you may find amazing broadcasters, amazing content creators on a website that you're streaming to. However, that one diamond in the rough, that one person that you really enjoy, around them is about 30,000 other shitholes. You'll go stream hopping, and you may hear somebody's name get dropped in a channel by a caster, and you may see their link come up in chat. So you decide, oh, I'm gonna click this, and you turn up in their channel when they're live, and you realize that the caster in question is just bad.
Yep. I've had that happen.
They turn out to be a rotten horse lime.
I've had that happen so many times, where, especially going into smaller channels, I'll see them drop somebody else's name, and I enjoy the caster that I'm watching, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this so and so is a great caster," and I'll go check them out. Like, I'll legitimately go check them out to see if they're a good caster and if I enjoy watching them. And I'll sit there and watch them, and I usually will give them 10 to 15 minutes. I won't just pop in and be like, "Oh no, I hate this guy. I'm done." I'll actually give them a chance. And if I don't see anything I like, I'm just like, no, it's not worth following. I'm just gonna leave.
Yeah. Like, I'll sit there and actually go stream hopping on Beam just so I know who's here, who's coming in, and stuff like that. I don't mean to like bash on anybody, because a lot of the people that are here on Beam are just starting out. You can tell by the quality of their content. They're just starting out. But a lot of them, it's painful to watch. It is painful to watch.
Yep.
There are a lot of resources out there. Whether you go to like different tip sites on how to stream or something like that, I don't know. Or whether you just listen or watch other broadcasters. There are a lot of resources available to streamers, both new, intermediate, veteran, partner, doesn't matter. There's a lot of resources out there that you can utilize in order to better yourself in this entertainment medium that just suddenly exploded. At this point now, I think it's rivaling television.
Oh, absolutely.
I honestly think it's better. But a lot of these newer streamers haven't done a lick of research. They haven't even sat there and generally watched a stream to kind of see the flow, feel the content, what an example of how they should present themselves while live.
Right. Well, and
they haven't quite got it yet, and it's painful to see that, because they could be great. They could be fantastic streamers.
And that goes back a little bit to kind of the way I started, where it was just, I'm throwing this out there and it's whatever happens, happens. But then once I figured out the whole, I can make friends out of this, not necessarily a career or make money out of it. I actually started going to other people's channels and be like, hey, how you doing? Just, and I would watch their stream, see how they handled themselves. I wouldn't go to the huge channels, because it's hard to get a real good feel for how to do things as a smaller caster from the big channels.
Yes.
That's kind of like an end goal, maybe. Maybe I want to reach that point eventually, but watch some of the smaller casters who have been doing it for a while. The ones who have good chat interaction. Those are usually the ones that you're going to want to watch, and you're going to enjoy being in their channels more. Not always. Some people prefer not having chat interaction. But at least for me, I enjoy the chat interaction. Communicating with the caster. And I'm going to touch on one thing here in chat. Hatalia Dude asked, he's only a smaller channel with 6 followers, 14 viewers, and tips for more followers. One thing, networking. Go watch other casters.
Networking, go watch other casters, be active on Twitter.
Don't
try to make...
Alright, interrupt you here for 1 second.
Yeah, go for it.
Don't drop into their chat, I'm a streamer, come follow me. Don't do that. Bad idea. Terrible idea. That's a good way for most casters to just purge you or ban you outright. You can drop little things here and there, like, hey, yeah, I was just doing such and such thing. Maybe you were working on bot or something. If they ask you how you're doing, what you were up to, something like that. Just don't go in there and be laser focused on, I'm going to go in there, I'm going to drop that I'm a streamer, I'm going to get them to follow me, I'm going to get people in their channel to follow me. Not a good idea.
Yeah. Well, and one thing I can say, not everybody is going to be like that.
Right.
I have encountered numerous people that are like that, but then again, I've also encountered some people that aren't. I, for instance, am not one of those people that are just going to purge and ban you.
Right.
If you say you're a caster, I'm going to shout you out. And I'm also going to check you out to make sure, you know, you're producing at least somewhat decent content. I know you're just starting out. You're trying to get a feel for how things work, look, stuff like that. I understand that. I'm willing to give you a decent chance. I
Mhm.
may come around a couple times just to kind of feel how you are. You know, it's one of those things where if you say you're a caster around me, I'm going to do whatever in my power to try to help you out, to try to make this a little bit of an easier experience for you, instead of going the same route that I did for about almost 6 years now, sitting there fighting and struggling for viewership, if that makes any sense. It's hard enough going on your own in this particular medium. Yeah, like, don't say that, hey, I'm a broadcaster, you should come watch me here. That's not cool. Definitely not a thing that you want to sit there and try and say.
Ah, failfish. I somehow got myself muted again.
Hashtag NaviFail.
OBS win! My hotkeys apparently don't like me sometimes.
Well,
Anyway, what I was saying for anybody who couldn't hear me, don't force the issue. That's kind of the key thing with that.
don't advertise. Just say, you're a starting caster. I'm just coming through watching XYZ. Like, I'm just coming and watching before I start myself, or, I'm just hanging out and, watching you and trying to get to know you a little bit better. In most cases, people are going to say, yeah, cool, stick around for a little bit, come hang out and, experience the channel and stuff like that. In other cases, especially if the broadcaster in question is kind of an asshole, you may just get the, hi, you're being banned now from my chat. GG.
Yep.
So it's better to establish a connection with that streamer before saying you're a streamer in their channel.
Yep.
They may be a little bit more accepting.
Oh, it was you, actually. I still remember this. I had been in Pitt's channel, your channel, Spike's channel, a bunch of other channels that you had been in as well. And I just interacted with everybody there. And there was one day you just popped into my channel and you're like, Linty, why didn't you tell me you stream? It's like, sorry, man, I was interacting with everybody. Just, I don't know, it just never came up.
Well, then I found out and I started pimping you out, and now look at you. You're on 2 platforms. You're doing decently. Look at you.
I know, man.
Look at you.
That's what you got to do. You got to network.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I actually found Linty looking at Spike's channel while he was hosting you. So I hopped in there and fucking chewed your ass out for not telling me that you were a caster, and I'm like, God damn it, man! Why didn't you tell me you stream?
You did, and I remember it. But there is still a balance to doing that.
It's like the Zen master focus kind of shit. You have to be subtle about it, but not so subtle about it.
Right.
Smitty!
How you doing, Smitty?
Fucking awesome, sir.
Thank you very much for that follow. I'm gonna go back and touch on something else that was brought up in chat here. We had.
But before you do,
yeah.
Guess what?
What's up?
You're up to 70 followers on Beam.
What? Am I really? I didn't even notice.
Yes,
Sweet! 70 follows. Smitty, you got me to 70. Something that I don't have my quote set up in Scottybot again yet, but something that I said on Twitch, and this goes for Beam too, because I said it when I was on Beam as well. If I hit 200 followers, do you get a prize for being number 70? No, unfortunately, not at number 70. At number 200, though, I'm going to do Linty, Lumber Linty again. What's your turn? Oh boy. But yes, that is something that I will do again at 200 follows. We're 130 away, so get those 130 follows and we'll see it. Same pick too. Score! But yes, something that was brought up in chat is favorite game. Something I'm always willing to discuss. So Navi, what about you? What are your favorite games?
Oh,
See,
fuck.
top 3.
Top 3? Oh shit.
I know, it's hard, right?
It is really hard, but I think I can scrounge out a top 3 really quick. And this is like all time, right?
Yes, you can go any genre, any time frame.
Okay, my top 3 are actually Marvel vs. Capcom 2,
Good choice.
Time Crisis 3, and fuck. Maximum Tomb One Gun Midnight 3.
I actually don't know that I'd heard of that one.
These are all arcade games.
Okay. I hadn't spent a whole lot of time in arcade games.
Maximum Tomb One Gun Midnight is a racing game that deals heavily in drifting.
Okay.
And if you've ever seen an Initial D cabinet before,
Yeah.
they're very much like that.
Okay. Gotcha.
So it has like the memory card thing to it and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool game. I enjoy
Nice.
it. I just miss it because there are no arcades left in this area, and it makes me very sad.
There are very few arcades anywhere in the US anymore.
Yeah, it's very sad. Most people don't realize the amazingness of arcades anymore, especially if they're younger.
Like I said, I didn't spend a whole lot of time in arcades, but I did occasionally go. But I'd usually end up playing games like Pac-Man, which was still awesome, playing on an arcade machine. I miss those days. Who's streaming? I don't think anybody else is currently streaming. You're not streaming, are you, Navi?
No, I have to work. I have to
Oh.
work in like 2 hours.
No, not the work.
And the work.
Mm-hmm. All right, so this is going to be a hard one. My top
Arcades
3.
were awesome. I miss arcades. I want to go back to one so bad. Somebody give me enough money so I can go to Japan and start playing arcade games.
Would love to go to Japan to play arcade games. Some of the arcades they've got over there are ridiculous.
That's exactly why I want to go over there.
Top 3
Just,
arcade.
like, spend a week.
Ridge Racer, Super Mario Bros. 2, and Pac-Man. Wait, Super Mario Bros. 2 was in the arcades?
At one point, yes.
Dang, I forgot about that. I'm ashamed of myself. I'm very ashamed of myself. Alright, so my top 3 games, and I'm going to have to put these in no specific order because they're all amazing in my opinion. I think Dust has managed to make it there after just finishing a 117% blind hardcore playthrough. Gears of War 3. That last one is going to be tough. I'd have to say Super Mario Brothers.
Are we talking about like all-time favorite games?
Yes.
Top
I can
3.
tell you my top 100, but fuck trying to name that.
Good luck.
I'll never get to a top 3.
There's just so many good games out there, and I've enjoyed so many.
Ratchet and Clank, Going Commando, Dark Cloud 2, Tales of Zestiria, Tales of Vesperia, and we've got Dust and Elysian Tale, there's Sanctuary, Tales of Werewolves. I'm a big fan of Stalker, Call it Pripyat, less so of Clear Sky. Shadow of Chernobyl's really good, Metro Last Light's really good. Like, I can't dwindle a list down to 3. It's impossible.
It's hard.
Sly Cooper, Honor Among Thieves.
Yeah, it is super hard. I could barely just toss out 3 of my favorites. Those aren't necessarily my top. I can give you a huge list of games that I thoroughly enjoy, but for me to throw out like just a strict top 3, it's impossible for me. I enjoy way too many games, but then again, I also don't enjoy way too many games.
There have definitely been a fair share of games that I have picked up and started playing, and I'm like, no, I'm just not finishing this because it's terrible.
Just like I stopped playing Fallout 4 because it's fucking terrible.
Speaking of Fallout, so I don't know if you guys are aware. I played through Fallout 1 and 2 earlier this year, and my word, I am never touching those games again.
Oh, the turn-based strategy
Yes.
of old CRPGs?
Yes, it was terrible.
I played 10 minutes of it, and I'm like, I will break my monitor to this game. I'm not touching it ever again.
Well, what's funny is at the time that I had started playing Fallout 2, Doxy had just attempted to play it on stream, and he had so many issues with it, he just gave up on it on cast and went to something else. It was that bad for him. Like, he had issues, it wouldn't capture right. If you went into a certain area, it would just bog down your PC. It was bad.
Come to think of, like, all the games that we've thought were incredibly shit, I did find a game, at least for me, that I thought was going to be incredibly shit and just, like, spend one cast playing it and I was done. But I found out after I stopped playing it that I want to play more of it. Pony Island.
Oh my, Pony Island.
So, we're going to get off that topic.
Yeah. Oh my. Welcome, Firefly. Thank you very much for that follow. Welcome to the Juggernaut Army.
Linty, was there a thing in specific you wanted to talk to me about?
Specific thing? I was hoping to get more into stream-specific tech stuff. Let's see, it's close to noon. Usually I take my break around noon, and then I was going to switch over to Mark of the Ninja. Okay. So I could try and finish that. So probably not.
Okay, then I'm going to drop out.
Alright, Spike. Have yourself a good day.
I shall. Maybe.
Maybe. Well, at least attempt.
Sorry, I just refreshed my Twitter, and my friend Lucas from town tweeted out, "Old people are rude as hell and entitled as fuck." That's it. That's all he said.
That is amazing.
And that's pretty true in most cases. Not all, but in most.
Well, I'm gonna go have sex with my shoe.
Well, you have fun with that.
I will.
He is going to vigorously hump it with his Tic Tac penis.
My Tic Tac peen.
Oh my.
Have fun, sir.
I love your faces,
Love your face too, Spike.
but I love yours more.
It is kind of beautiful, isn't it?
It's not as good as my beard.
Yeah, that's...
Not as good as my chiseled fucking chin, motherfucker.
The first...
Everyone should follow Navi specifically because of his glorious jawline. Alright.
It's soon gonna get covered up with beard. It's growing back again.
Until next year, where you can see his chiseled jawline again.
Yep.
So is this going to be a yearly thing? You're going to grow it and then shave it?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
A yeared.
It's a yeared.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Goodbye, sirs.
Bye,
Goodbye.
Spike.
Don't follow me, it's a trap.
It's a trap!
It's a trap.
Star Wars reference! Kappa.
Honestly, more people should be following Linty Juggler 90 because he's amazing.
You are too kind, Navi. You are too kind.
I may be a partner. That shouldn't matter to you. It should matter over the content, not the status of the particular caster. Linty is definitely a great content creator on any platform he streams on. I love his face. You should too. Slam that follow button. Do it now. I don't care. Do it. Fucking do it, nerd.
And at the same time,
Okay.
you should all be following Navi.
No, you shouldn't. You should be following Linty.
At any rate, I am going to actually be taking a short break so that I can switch over to Mark of the Ninja. We're going to attempt to finish Mark of the Ninja.
And I'm going to be dropping out so you can enjoy your cast and have fun with your community, sir.
Alrighty, Navi. Well, thank you very much for stopping in. I do appreciate it, as always.
No problem, buddy. I'll be around.
Alrighty, well, do have a good one.
You too.
So yes, we are going to take a short break. Look at this circle trick. I know, right? So much fun! Do want to say thank you to Spike and Navi, especially, for jumping in, having some time to chat. Don't use to me. Oh, that's amazing! GG, Navi! GG! Oh, that was great. Scottybot doesn't like you because I turned on the caps protection. And of course, there's no way for a bypass. But yes, we are going to take a short break, and then we're going to go over and play a little bit of Mark of the Ninja. I know I didn't take a whole lot of time previously, but I do want to thank all of you who came in and followed, joined in on the discussion a little bit. Those of you that followed, welcome to the Jugglernaut Army. Those follows are greatly appreciated. I do hope you'll stick around, decide to come back in the future. Are there other bots other than Scottybot? No. Scottybot should be the only one in my channel right now. Should actually check that, because Beatbot, for some reason, decided to keep reintroducing himself. Nope. Scottybot's... Oh, no, Beatbot is back. Never mind. Other bots in general? Yes. Beatbot, there's Scottybot, obviously. There's a bunch of others. If you do a search for Beam bots, you should be able to come up with a couple. They're not coming to mind right now. Oh, BenBot is another common one. But anyway, break time. We'll be back in about 5 minutes. Take this time to get up, stretch, relax for a little bit, get yourself a drink, a snack, whatever else you need. And when we come back, we're going to attempt to finish out Mark of the Ninja. Been having some fun with it, but should be close to finished with it. So enjoy the break. We'll be back shortly.